Assalamu alaikum. This is Brother Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad, Southwest Regional Student Minister of the Nation of Islam, Muhammad Mosque number 45, Houston, Texas. And I greet you once again, Assalamu alaikum. My beloved brothers and sisters, I want to take just these few moments to make it perfectly clear to the followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, our friends, our sympathizers, those who are our supporters, those who listen to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, respect his opinion, those who respect us and our work, know that whether you agree with us in total or not, that we believe and you believe that we believe that what we're doing is in the best interest of our people, out of love for them and love for you. Our brothers and sisters, I come on this with one black man's opinion, and that is that you and I must heed the voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, heed his call, heed that which he has asked us to do, and to continue to be obedient to a man who has proven himself over these past 40 plus years in the absence of his teacher and our father, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and over 60 plus years just as a voice representing Black consciousness, representing Black struggle, representing the upliftment of all of humanity if you really follow Minister Farrakhan and his evolution. The reason why I've taken to these sacred airwaves and want to talk to you just for a moment, I won't abuse this great privilege that I have to come before you, is I just want to simply say that today in the state of Texas, the Governor Greg Abbot announced that Texas is opening up 100% and that he's lifting the mask mandate that he issued last October. My brothers, my sisters, I want to say this to you from the depths of my heart. This is just 2 weeks since the colossal disaster in the energy capital of the world, that we were without heat, without lights. We had people boiling snow because they didn't have water that they could drink. Grocery stores were empty. There was no water on the shelves, no bread, no cheese, no milk, no eggs. People died of hypothermia. People died of carbon monoxide poisoning. And now he just says that, I'm so competent, capable, and qualified, I'm going to lift this mandate. Now, let me say this to you. There's no way we cannot empathize with the small businessman and woman in the state of Texas, in our way of life that has been disrupted by COVID-19, the economic impact it's had in the state of Texas, but on small Black businesses also. We were already operating on the margins. We were already living paycheck to paycheck. And so to be sympathetic or not to be sympathetic to business owners would be crazy. But at the same time, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? And if you are under the illusion that somehow, some way, it doesn't matter, I'm going to die and I'm going to go get my sweet by and by, I'm going to get my pie in the sky and the sweet by and by after I die. Well, the one that taught you that is getting something sound on the ground while he's still around. The one that taught you that concept of religion is the one right now that's living luxuriously. And while you were freezing, that's the one who would go to Cancun, Mexico, and stay at the Ritz-Carlton, or go to a resort in Florida where it was warm, while the constituents and the followers and those who voted for you froze when they're dark, were hungry, and thirsty. This is the kind of leadership that we have. And if you want to follow that kind of leadership, it's up to you. But as to me and my house, we're going to choose life, and we're going to choose the Lord. share a couple things with you, and then I'm going to let you go, brothers and sisters. Let me say this to you from the depths of my heart, that Governor Greg Abbot was quoted as saying, Texas is in a far better position now than when I issued my last executive order back in October. Yet Channel 13 investigates reports that deaths in Texas are up 91%, in-hospital visits are up 59%, the positivity rate of those with COVID-19 is up 63%, though cases are down 7%. Brothers and sisters, you do the math. Sister Clara Logan of Fifth Ward here in Houston, Texas said, and I quote, "How can you have hope in a system that doesn't give you hope? How can you believe in a system that doesn't really believe in you? When they do help you, it's because the spotlight has been put on them," close quote. In Texas, brothers and sisters, according to Wallet Hub 2019, the average uninsured rate for states that expanded Medicaid versus the states that did not expand Medicaid was those who expanded Medicaid had an average uninsured rate of 7.46%. States in orange, which you see there is Texas, did not expand Medicaid and having an average uninsured rate of 11.44%. Texas was 18.36%, one of the highest, if not the highest, in the nation. There's a book you got to get called Medical Apartheid, The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to the Present by Harriet Washington. We're not having vaccine hesitancy. We just have a history of being mistreated by the medical industry. The medical care system has not really cared for us and has not treated us equally. Look at this. In Texas, the mortality rate was 18.6 deaths per 100,000 births. In Black women, it was 28%, while we, meaning our Black sisters, only make up 11% of all Texas births. 28%. That's 1 in 4 of our women. And when you look at the other chart that talks about COVID-19 deaths per 100,000 Americans, just in general, Blacks, Indigenous, Pacific Islanders, and Latinx are the highest, while whites come in at 33%. Brothers and sisters, look, let me close this part by simply saying this. Do not, I repeat, do not follow Greg Abbott's mask mandate order. In fact, don't even listen to him at all. Here's what I say. I say from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam, first things first. How come no one's talking about what it's going to take for you and I to maintain our health or prevent ourselves from getting sick? First and foremost, why do we suffer from comorbidity? Why are we dying at higher rates? In part, brothers and sisters, is because we lack certain vitamins and certain nutrients that come from food, like vitamin D, which comes from the sun, vitamin C, other vitamins that are found in food, zinc, and other things are found in food. We live in food deserts. The medical system knows this, but they haven't addressed it. We have convenience stores around our neighborhoods, but we don't have good, healthy food. And we don't maintain a good, healthy diet. You said, but the sugar runs in my family. Diabetes runs in my family. No, your diet runs in your family. Your lifestyle or death style runs in your family. So we urge you to, first and foremost, mask up. Continue to mask up. I don't care what Greg Abbott says. You continue to mask up. So teaches the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Continue to wear your mask. Continue to practice social distancing. Clean, sanitize, and disinfect the environment around you. Keep it clean. The things that you touch often or touched often, make sure you keep those things clean. Keep your house clean. Keep your environment clean. And most importantly, do not let them vaccinate you with their history of treachery through vaccines and through medication. So teaches the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We have history with them. And we're not about to forget that history. Let's put it like this. You say, or they say, that we have vaccine hesitancy. This is what they say. But the truth of the matter is, even as they rolled out the vaccine, think about this. If a people that won't treat you right, what makes you think they're going to teach you right? Even about science. Listen to this. Even as they rolled out the vaccine, notice the figure that I showed you before was that, in fact, Black people are dying or getting COVID-19 at a higher rate, yet they refuse, or they have not even rolled out the vaccines to our community. Now, all of a sudden, Black Lives Matter. You'd be a fool to listen to these people. This is an experimental gene therapy. It's not really a vaccine. It has not been proven. They don't know what the long-term impact and effect of COVID-19 virus is. When they take the vaccine, it's been reported today that when the women take the vaccine before they go get a mammogram, it's giving false positives. They think they got it figured out, but they don't really know. So, sister and brother, I understand you're afraid and that they're hurting you and got you afraid, but I wouldn't trust them. There are alternative treatments, there are alternative therapies, but they won't talk about them. They won't even have an honest discussion on the media about people who don't want to take the vaccine and why. They want to browbeat you, call you anti-vaxxer. No, we're not anti-vaccine. If this was a vaccine, we could have a conversation about it, but it's not. It's not extracted from the virus itself to help you with your. This is a whole nother experiment. And you are his project. You and I. Be careful, sister and brother. Be very thoughtful about this going forward. And so I'll close by simply saying to you, brother and sister, that, you know, I respect your intelligence. I want for your family what I want for myself and my family. I want you to have life and life more abundantly. But it's only going to come through obedience and using common sense. If a people have not treated you right before, and all of last year, and even before that, but particularly at the height after the murder of George Floyd, we were literally fighting these people for them to recognize that Black lives matter. Black lives matter, blue lives matter, Black lives matter, all lives matter. All we're trying to tell you is that Black lives matter too. That's all. What about us? We were simply saying. Don't our lives have any value? We have to fight, kick, and scratch just to get these people to recognize our humanity. Now all of a sudden they care? Are you crazy? Look, sisters, brothers, let me give this to you, and I'll break it down a little further in one of my next episodes of One Black Man's Opinion. Kind of goes like this. People in America make up 4 to 5% of the world's population, yet they use up 30% of the non-renewable resources. Do the math. If 1 billion people in China want to have a vibrant middle class, 1 billion people in India want to have a vibrant middle class, 1 billion people in Africa want to have a vibrant middle class, 600-700 million people in Central South America and the Caribbean want to have a viable middle class. The hundreds of millions in Europe want to have a viable middle class. Question, brothers and sisters. You do the math. If 5% of the population uses 30% of the resources, right? 5 times their own weight or 6 times their own weight, it's going to take 6 Earths for the Earth's carrying capacity to sustain that. That's only because the wicked 10%, these bloodsuckers of the poor, who teach the poor lies, who enslave us with their lies, so that they keep us deaf, dumb, and blind, believing in a mystery God. While the 5% of us here in the poor part of the planet Earth are trying to convince the 85% of the 10% in their wickedness, and they're wanting to have everything for themselves. Come on, sister and brother. Open your eyes and see what's going on. So, I close by simply urging you to ignore Governor Greg Abbott. 1, mask up, wash your hands, clean, sanitize, disinfect the area around you, practice social distancing, learn how to eat to live, get proper rest, stay hydrated, get some exercise, get some fresh air, go out in the sun, let the sun soak up the sun's vitamins. There are vitamins in the sun that you really can't get in the drugstore. Get out, get you some sun, fresh air, take up some exercise, bike riding, or a 30-minute walk, brisk walk. Do something. And please de-escalate any tensions that you're having at home with your loved ones because you're sheltering in place or you're under financial pressure. And lastly, after we've gone through this cold snap, after we've lived literally with no lights, no heat, no water, when and if you get a stimulus check, please don't go to the Galleria or to the mall and buy no Gucci. Don't go buy no rims for your car. Don't go buy a 75-inch flat screen for your house. Get together with your family. Put half of your stimulus check up on the table and say, we need to get a backup generator for the house. We need to get some solar paneling for the house. We need to go down to the camping store or to Academy Sports and Outdoor or to REI, I think it's called, the camping place. Go there and get you some of them survival stuff. For real. This is real talk. Sit down and make out a plan for you, your family, school, business, and what you're going to do in the next disaster, because hurricane season is about 100 days away. And we'll be right back at it again. And because I'm a follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I believe that this divine judgment of America is taking place. Not because she's great. She's great, but she's not good. She doesn't love her poor. So God has to fight for them, fight for us, and fight for us in particular. Us and the indigenous people here. God is striking America using the forces of nature. Maybe you don't believe in God. Maybe you believe in climate change. Whatever it is you believe, something's happening, isn't it? We should be prepared. The old Boy Scout motto was be prepared. We need to be prepared. Common sense tells you something's going on. If you lived in Texas under Hurricane Harvey, you lived in Texas during this cold snap of 2021, you gonna go back to business as usual? Are you serious? Come on, brothers and sisters. Use your common sense. Invest in a generator. Invest in solar paneling with a backup battery. Invest in alternative means of cooking without dying of carbon monoxide poisoning. Invest in the means of having alternative water or having enough water. You go shopping, buy you an extra gallon or two of water. Sacrifice something, potato chips or something. Get you an extra gallon or two of water. Get you a bag of Navy beans. That's why they're called Navy beans for a reason. They were kept on the Navy ship. The rats couldn't eat them, and they lasted long, and they were good protection against radiation. Do you know we're being radiated every day with these cell phones and computers and iPads and passing through metal detectors? We're being radiated every day. So use the bean that Master Fard Muhammad taught us. No better bean than that white Navy bean, small white Navy bean. Learn how to cook it. Don't throw no ham hock up in there. Cook it right. Cook it right, brothers and sisters. You'll find that its medicinal purposes are many. Look it up. Look it up on the internet. B1 vitamins is good for your memory. You'll never be constipated if you eat Navy beans for sure. It helps with your cardiovascular system and all the functions of your body. That white Navy bean is a staple in the Nation of Islam, and as we've been taught. So tune in to noi.org, noi.org next this Sunday, and tune into the life-giving teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as taught and exemplified by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan from our national headquarters. Read the Final Call newspaper. Go to finalcall.com and get the latest news that you can use from the last and the greatest international Black published newspaper out of America, the Final Call. And continue to go to finalcallstore.com, finalcallstore.com, and go and get Minister Farrakhan's lectures, listen to them for yourself, or go on YouTube. Follow the great ones in our nation that are champions in the social media realm, Brother Willie Muhammad, Brother Ben X, Brother Abdul Qiyam, formerly known as Brother Jesse Muhammad, and many others. Follow them on social media, brothers and sisters, and get the latest and the greatest. Listen to the clips, get the wisdom, study for yourself, order the books of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Do these things for yourself and for your family. And then make a decision as to what you're going to follow and what you're not going to follow. And then be man and woman enough to accept the consequences. We said what we said because we love you. We said what we said because we want you to prosper. We said what we said because we really do want you to help us to build a new reality for us and our children. We can't go another 400 years like this. We already see, as Michael Jackson say, they don't really care about us. So, my beloved brothers and sisters, agree or disagree, this is one black man's opinion. What's yours? I'm Brother Dr. Abdul Halim Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.